of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea. Dear listeners, now we start the English language service of Voice of Korea from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. When a piece in a mixed chorus, song of General Kim Il-sung. Winner prisoner meal chorus Song of General Kim Jong-il. This is DPRK, Voice of Korea News Now. Such idea followers speak highly of the great leader Kim Jong-il. The chairman of the South African National Committee for the Study of Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism, said Kim Jong-il is the greatest thinker and theoretician who provided a powerful ideological weapon for the victorious advance of the socialist cause by enriching the Juche idea with new principles and contents to meet the demand of the times and revolutionary practice through his constant speculation and pursuit. And on this basis, scientifically systematizing the socialist theory. He added that Kim Jong-il's ideology and theory still remain an unchangeable guideline enabling the world progressive humanity to vigorously struggle with a firm conviction of socialism and cause. The chairman of the Russian Association for the Study of the Juche idea noted that the ideological and theoretical exploits of Kim Jong-il serve as a precious heritage for the Juche idea followers aspiring after independence. The chairman of the Pakistani Organization for the Study of the Juche idea praised Kim Jong-il as a great leader of the Korean people and outstanding leader of the socialist movement. The chairman of the Finnish National Committee for the Study of the Juche idea said, "Today, Korea is a powerful socialist state, showing the progressive people that they can emerge victorious in the revolution if they become masters of their own destiny." The Secretary General of the European Society for the Study of the Juche idea stressed that the Korean people, led by His Excellency respected Marshal Kim Jong-un, will in the future to achieve greater victory and successes in the struggle to firmly carry on the ideal and cause of Kim Jong-il. Successes are registered at different units of the national economy. The officials and workers of the Farm Machine Industry Management Bureau under the Ministry of Agriculture made innovations in the production of tractor accessories and farm machines and thus overfulfilled the February plan at 107%. This year, the Pyongyang Automation Appliances Factory produced as planned different kinds of switchboards and electric appliances to be sent to the construction sites of major projects, including the Wonsan-Galma coastal tourist area. Light industry factories in Daesung City carried out their first quarterly plans ahead of schedule until early March. Magnesium hydride, a hydrogen starting material, was developed in Korea. Its developers applied a rational coating method to ensure the safety of its treatment while keeping its hydrogen storage capacity. And they established an efficient process of Korean style for making magnesium hydride in normal temperature and low hydrogen pressure conditions, lowering its production cost. This magnesium hydride can be used as a hydrogen starting material of fuel cell, high purity hydrogen generator for medical service, reducer and catalyst. The Lansday Art Studio and the Pyongyang University of Finance produced peculiar cars on the occasion of the 110th anniversary of the March the 8th International Women's Day. Seen on the cars are letters of different calligraphic styles, including March the 8th International Women's Day and Congratulations, flowers, bouquet, floral basket, and the score of the song Women are Flowers, and fragrant flowers drawn in a three-dimensional way. Some cars offer congratulations to the women training the rising generations wonderfully as future pillars. The DPRK is taking top-class anti-epidemic steps in a more thorough way and strictly putting them into practice in order to prevent the COVID-19 rapidly spreading worldwide. The public service amenities in Pyongyang City disinfect the service places and individual service equipment on a normal basis while encouraging the guests to abide by anti-epidemic regulations. The Hamhung City Hygienic and Anti-Epidemic Center in South Hamgyong Province concentrates efforts on disinfecting public places. The February the 8th Vinalon Complex and the Hungnam Pharmaceutical Factory produced a large amount of disinfectants, and the Hamhung Disabled Soldiers Essential Plastic Goods Factory a lot of protective medical gowns in a short span of time and sent them to units concerned. North Hamgyong and Gangwon provinces are intensifying the work to prevent any possible inroads of the epidemic while steadily raising the law-abiding spirit of the people according to the regional characteristics. South and North Pyongan and North Gangwon provinces are intensifying hygienic information activities through visual aids and taking necessary measures in advance against any shortcomings in medical checkup, test, and quarantine. The website of the Association for the Study of Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism in the Far Eastern region of Russia posted an article under the title Choice of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea to prove the validity of the idea of making a hidden breakthrough presented at the 5th plenary meeting of the 7th Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. The article said, the slogan, "Let us break through head on all the barriers to our advance," set forth in Korea at the end of last year, clearly showed that the DPRK would not give up its dignity, which it has so far defended as valuable as its own life in the hope of gorgeous transformation, and that the tenacious suffocation movers of the imperialists would neither work on it nor check its vigorous advance for the building of a powerful socialist country. The offensive for making a hidden breakthrough is the most just and wise option to cope with the prevailing situation, the article stressed. And that's the end of the news read by Lee Hyang-sin. This is Voice of Korea. Please enjoy your meal, Karas. We will defend General Kim Sang-un with our livers.
appreciate a piano concerto. Blizzards over Mount Baku. Please listen to the song. We have the Great Workers' Party of Korea. The warm love with endearing eyes keeps the cradle throughout the night. The powerful hand leading to work miracles shows the bright road alone. Where can we find such warm feeling? We cannot live without so good vision. All people heartily say, we have the Great Workers' Party of Korea.
줄새가 피우며 달이 웃고 설새가 눈오며 담화가 쓰네 어머니라 부르며 안기어 타는 그 품속에 사는 이 행복 이처럼 깊은 세계로 깃드는 신선 손길은 밝은 별지우스네 이처럼 깊은 성에 어디서 있으랴 이처럼 고운 꿈을 떠나 우린 못되는 정말
We now bring you the instrumental quintet, Oh, Mother Party. We now present a female soul and female 방청, invariable attitude of a loyalist. Enjoy the Korean folk song Moran Hill. You'll enjoy your light music for violin. Four Seasons of Pyongyang. We now bring you female Solen Pangchang. Where shall we go first?
모란강이 구경할까 해변강이
Israel's territorial ambition at dangerous stage. Some time ago, the Israeli Prime Minister reportedly announced a plan to accelerate the construction of Jewish settlements in East Kudus. The plan envisages the construction of dwelling houses for 5,200 families in 2 districts of East Kudus. The Israeli Prime Minister openly revealed his ambition for territory, saying the plan of the construction would blow up the Palestinians' dream of independence. Kudus is so acute a region, both in religious and political aspects, that any incident may pose a big problem. Too aware of this, however, Israel openly promotes expansion of Jewish settlements. It clearly reveals Israel's wicked nature to realize its territorial ambition, paying no heed to peace in the Middle East. Abusing that Israel systematically frustrates the solution through the establishment of 2 states, a spokesman for the state of Palestine called upon the international community to involve itself in the effort to check the Israel's attempt. The European Union as well strongly abused the plan of the Israeli government to build new dwelling houses in 2 districts of East Kudus. A high-ranking official of the European Union said in a press statement that the construction of Jewish settlements by Israel is a violation of the international law, and it is an attempt to isolate Palestinians in Kudus and Bethlehem by separating the 2 cities, threatening the solution through the establishment of 2 states. The German Foreign Ministry demanded an immediate stop to the construction of new settlements in occupied East Kudus, and the French Foreign Ministry urged Israel to strictly observe the agreed international regulations. Irish Deputy Prime Minister issued a statement branding the construction of Jewish settlements in the occupied territory of Palestine as an act quite contradictory to the international law. He said the construction of settlements in 2 regions of East Kudus threatens the existence and territory of Palestine. Analysts said it is quite natural that the international community expresses indignation and condemns the extremely dangerous moves of Israel for seizing territory. They commented that the plan of the construction of Jewish settlements may further aggravate tension between Palestine and Israel and between the Middle Eastern countries and Israel. So far, you've been listening to an account under the title Israel's Territorial Ambition at Dangerous Stage. This is Voice of Korea.
Dear listeners, with this we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Europe between 15 and 16 hours UTC, between 18 and 19 hours UTC, between 21 and 22 hours UTC, and between 13 and 14 hours UTC on 7,570 kHz and 12,015 kHz. For North America, between 15 and 16 hours UTC and between 13 and 14 hours UTC on 9,435 kHz and 11,710 kHz. And for Northeast Asia, between 4 and 5 hours UTC and between 6 and 7 hours UTC on 7,220 kHz, 9,445 kHz, and 9,730 kHz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.